Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast, and this is our anime club. I'm joined by Sage,
Hey.
Kat,
Hi.
and Anthony.
Shalom.
You know who
y'all.
we're not joined by?
I didn't even get to say hi, and then she just fucking jumped down.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can we talk about that? This is literally the first time.
Can I say hi to the audience?
No.
God, I have something to say.
I have to say hi.
Okay,
Women
say
have
hello.
to talk, Anthony.
Say
Stop
hello.
repressing them.
Stop mansplaining,
What?
all right? Anthony, say hello.
Hi.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad
this
it was
is
worth
the
it.
first time in what is this now, 55 episodes, that Mike has done the intro without stumbling.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
I've totally done it without stumbling before.
Oh no, that part? No, that's true.
Hey, he hasn't stumbled?
No, that he has stumbled.
What?
Anyway,
Thank you.
this is
I was agreeing with you.
Anyways,
Right.
Kieran's not here because of nepotism. Mike says he doesn't have to be here because he didn't like the show. And he
Mike
doesn't
runs a
wanna watch
fucking
the show.
gulag.
But you know who doesn't like the shows ever? Kat doesn't, and Kat has to sit here
Well,
for
first
every
of all,
single
you've
one.
been here every
entertainment.
episode.
For
Second
our
of all,
entertainment.
yeah. Second of all, he's also not here not just because he didn't like this show. It's because I was like, "Are you gonna watch any of the shows?" And he's like, "If I'm not in the mood, I'm not gonna do it." So I'm not gonna put up with that every single
You
month.
should.
No.
You should.
I
We do.
refuse.
Yep.
Anyway, this does
Literally.
not matter.
It matters.
Our anime of the club this anime club of the month. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Sure.
Our
yeah.
anime club this month.
Yeah, this
He's
month.
gonna stumble the rest of the
Yeah,
episode because the intro is
I
right. Yeah.
said that he did good
By
on
the
the intro.
transitive
He
property.
just can't talk
Yep.
now.
Was Gurren Lagann, and I recommended this show because it is one of my favorite shows of all time. It was one of the first anime that I watched when I was like barely watching anime as a kid.
Was it on Toonami?
I actually watched it like early days Netflix.
Oh, like
Yeah.
on DVD?
You got
They
it
sent it to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Your
You guys
parents let
just said
pick
that at the same time.
No,
That was kinda cool.
Okay, a lot of parents who don't know what anime is, they just think it's for children.
They
So
sure do.
even if like the girls are half naked, they're just like, oh, it's just a kids program.
Yeah, so I fucking love this show, as do a lot of people in the anime community. But yeah, it's a show that constantly goes, hey, you know what we did last episode? Watch us one up that shit. Every episode, somehow, for 27 episodes. And they never don't one up themselves, which is kind of impressive.
I definitely have a different opinion, but sure, go on.
And yeah, so that's why I recommended this. And I guess let's just go general ass thoughts and start with Sage.
Yeah. I think this show is like so goofy and so ridiculous and over the top from start to finish that you kind of like you get swept up in it. It's so like so hype. Everyone is constantly making the most like grand fucking speeches in the world where you're like, all right, chill out, like eat a Snickers. But I think because of all of that, you end up enjoying it, even though like I don't think the story is like particularly groundbreaking or anything, or the characters. I'm just like, because it's very much a story of like, yeah, just believe in yourselves and we can accomplish anything, and
To the
teamwork and
utmost
family.
degree.
Huh?
To like the utmost degree.
Yeah, like friendship to like the millionth degree.
Yeah.
But you end up enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my general thoughts.
All right. Kat.
It sure is a show.
Just keeping that Kat hates the shows we talk about train.
Yeah, it's what Sage said, and
Oh, but the art style is kind of ugly.
I'm trying to think
I
of
think
like
it looks so good.
general.
Except for episode 4.
Yeah, why does episode
I can
4?
get
it
into
just,
that. I'll get into that. Don't worry about it.
Weirdly
I know.
looks like
I
shit.
know why.
Okay.
Actually, that's not really a spoiler. They ran out of budget.
That's
in
what I assumed.
in the
Episode
in the
4.
third episode, the transformation
Huh.
that blew their budget, and so in the fourth
Oh.
episode they had no money, and they were like, "Shit."
I was watching it, and then it got to the 4th episode, and I was like, did they get through the budget that fast? I was like, is the rest of the show gonna look like this? Because I will have to bail.
No, from what I was told.
Apparently, that's allowed.
Oh my god! From what I was told, it was that the third
Why is your
episode's
laugh so
transformation.
late?
So just calm. The third episode's transformation completely blew their budget, and so they still had to make the next episode.
Transformation is when they first combined,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Like
what I
all the
thought.
rainbow shit in
Right,
the
right,
background and everything. Yeah, yeah. From what I was told, that blew their budget, and so then but they got it back after that. And they were like, all right, cool, we're
Fucking
good.
hilarious.
But yeah.
And I like that there was like no attempt to hide that it was totally gone. They were like, all right, bare minimum, here we go.
100% bare minimum.
They were like, at least there's colors.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think of like general thoughts and not spoilers. I do agree with everything Sage said. I don't agree with Mike that it one-ups every episode. I definitely think there was lots of episodes that was the same exact thing every single episode over and over.
When I say one-ups, I mean the formula is the same.
intensity?
But yeah, like it's like they go from fighting a robot this big to this big
Okay.
to that big every time.
In those terms, yeah,
like
I guess so.
They one up the consequences. I guess.
Okay, but
Stakes.
The threat, yeah, the stakes.
so many of the episodes,
but it is the same formula.
literally, it's just like because. Well, I guess that's what I'll say. Like, I don't know. Go, you go. I'll go. I have specifics.
Wow, how ceremonious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't really know much about this show going into it. I know it's my best friend's favorite anime, and he's told me to watch it like so many times, but I just never got around to it until I was forced to, unlike some other people that are sitting downstairs right now
Oh my God.
that weren't. Oh no, just kidding. But yeah, no, I ended up really enjoying it. I thought it was really fun. I liked how it kind of plays with your expectations a little bit. And then I just think if we're dividing the show into like two parts, the second part I liked a lot more than the first one, but I think both are equally, or not equally, but like are really kind of fantastic in their own ways. I just think it's a really fun show. I think it's like a perfect, like, you could turn your brain off if you want to and just not pay attention to any of it, like in regards to like what the narrative is saying, and then also it like you can like kind of think critically about it too, which is what I really liked about it. And I mean, that ending is just so fucking good. Like, it's one of the best endings in anime, I think, at least from what I've seen.
All right.
I'm done.
Very good.
Next.
I mean, yeah, like I said at the intro, I really like this show. I think its soundtrack is great. It is definitely a show that you could 100% turn your brain off and just be like, cool, robots punch each other. But like also, there are quite a few moments that like if you actually are like invested, I guess, and like interested in what's going on with the characters, it also kind of rewards you. Which I'll get into later, but and I just think that like it gets so absurd, especially once the second half hits, that like you would think it loses any sense of meaning, which it does at points, but like they even like reference it in the show when like it starts getting to such an absurd degree of like bullshit like
Right.
meaning that like they have the gags where characters are like, what the fuck is going on? And they're just like, do you care? Like, it just means we can get to where we're going.
Yeah,
And they're
where
like,
they're
yeah,
trying
good
to
point.
explain stuff and they're like, use words we know, please.
Yeah. And like it understands that it starts spouting bullshit that makes zero sense. And like every character's like, yeah, fuck it, sure, all right, let's go. And like I don't know, I really enjoy it. I think all the characters are really enjoyable, and yeah, Nia's best girl.
Facts.
Anyway,
I don't know about that.
Facts.
who's your best girl?
I don't think I have one.
Not even Yoko?
No.
I figured Yoko at least.
It's like there's
No.
only really two important girls.
Yeah, there's only two fucking
There's
girls.
like the three extras, but like
Also-
Black siblings.
Yeah.
Also, one thing about this show is I really did not need any romance plot at all, and it was there.
I mean, anytime they did it,
It just
They
felt
killed
so
it.
weird because it was like,
Literally.
okay, Yoko and Kamina kiss,
Hey,
And then-
spoilers.
Yeah, I
from
guess-
here
I
on
guess
out.
and
we're
then
going
he
to-
Just go
immediately
spoilers.
fucking dies, and then Yoko and the blonde guy
He
kiss,
done.
and then
And
he
he dies.
immediately
I
dies.
was just like,
I'm
this bitch is gonna
is
kiss
this-
everyone
is
and they're gonna
this
fucking
bitch
die.
Yeah.
Is her
100%.
lot in life
Yep.
to not ever have
Literally,
a,
I felt
a
so,
partner
I
in her
felt
life?
so
Every
fucking
man
bad
she
for her.
finally
I
gets
was like,
invested in
really?
dies.
That's the
Like-
joke in Gurren Lagann is that anyone that gets to first base with Yoko dies.
Like,
Yeah, like anyone that kisses her, they're fucking dead. They're
I
doomed
felt
to-
so bad, but I also felt like they pulled it out of fucking nowhere.
they really
Kitan,
did.
like,
They did it with both of them.
he's like, hey, you want to go out? Like, after she's been gone for like these 7 years, he's like, you got boobs,
Literally,
let's
they're
go
like,
out. I
oh.
like children.
He's like, we're about to die, but if we get back to Earth, let's have some of our own babies.
yes,
And I'm like,
literally.
what?
And then for some reason, she's like, yeah, I was always into this. Like, yeah,
I'm
let
like,
me
where
imagine.
did this happen?
Let me imagine our wedding, like as
Yeah,
the
it was-
dream. And I'm like, did you even like him at all? Like, it was just
It
that
was-
he offered.
Every single time they
She
were
wasn't
on.
imagining the wedding.
She wasn't.
That whole thing
It was like the other universe,
it was
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a
It was
split
it was
reality or
Yeah, they
something?
were saying that like they were in a universe that was just branching, like it was like multiple
Oh,
realities.
I thought they were each
And,
imagining
yeah,
something like
right
different.
before she snaps out of it is like it shows Kamina flipping through the television of
Yeah.
like different universes, and one of them is that they ended up together.
Oh,
and then
okay.
that's like she turns it off, and she could that's not possible anyway.
Okay.
And she's like, all right.
I misunderstood
Bye.
that. I thought they were all imagining something
No.
that they
no,
wanted.
it was him flipping
I was
through
just like, what the
different
fuck?
realities. Of
Okay.
hers.
But she did like him at some like they
Which-
just
which is
decided that
weird
was like,
because
yeah,
every single time they're on screen together, they're like, at best, close work friends. And I was
who
like,
insults each other too.
but I was just like,
And so did Kamina and her.
Yeah, but like you could tell.
at least
That-
there she was showing that she was like
Once
jealous.
Kamina found out she was
One-
from the pit, he was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here!" and like shoved her behind him.
Yeah, but like at least with that, like when we meet the black siblings, like she's obviously jealous that he's
Yeah.
like all the girls are fawning over him and stuff. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
And
but
she
then
does
I
that like tsundere stuff where they're like, "Oh my god, did you
Right.
have children with him?" And she's like, "Pff, "No, what? I would never." Like, what are you talking about?
But then when her and Kamenov kiss and Simone sees it and he like flips out, I'm like, what is the problem, my guy? Like,
no, you could tell that he liked her.
Someone's
Yeah.
kissing your
He
bro and it's not you. Like,
He 100. That was
No.
100% what it was. He thought that she also liked him.
Yeah, it was totally obvious that he was into her.
no, I know he was into her, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that level. You know what I mean? I thought it was like
It was
like
a
a
child with a
child.
crush.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then and then his heart
Okay,
gets
wait,
broken,
wait,
which
yeah,
causes
because
the.
they're like what, 12 years old?
No,
I'm like, get
so,
over it.
so I looked up their ages because I was
I couldn't
wondering.
tell. Look
Yoko and Simone, they're both 14. Both of them are the same
oh
age.
yeah, Yoko is 14. I
They're
forgot about
both
that.
the same age.
How old is Kamina?
He was
16?
18.
Is he 18?
18.
Oh, boy.
Yes. So I thought
FBI, open up.
literally a fucking senior and a freshman.
Seriously, I mean that happened a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
That
But
did happen a lot.
I thought, like, I knew that they were all different, like, ages, but I definitely thought that Yoko was closer to Kamina's
Right.
age, and then, like, Simone was way younger.
I sure thought they were like both 16.
No.
And Simon was like 12.
No, that's what I thought it was. Nope. And then I looked it up, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean that sounds like anime.
Yeah. This show was the most anime show I've ever seen in my life.
Also, I like when they get to the ocean and they're talking about like swimming in the water, and they're like, we don't have time to lollygag. And they're
And then
talking
the
about how they're
entire
all like, oh, I've never seen the water before, but they all have swimsuits ready to go.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but that made
I
me
also
laugh.
just love the joke that they're like, we're gonna see Yoko in like a swimsuit,
And she wears more.
And she
Yeah.
wears more. And
Yeah.
she's like, well, isn't it nice to like keep some secret? And they're like, no, fuck you. And then Nia shows up, and they're like, all right, yeah, maybe the imagination is nice.
Also, I liked the robot that it was the vagina was the mouth and the eyes were the boobs.
Yeah, yeah.
that one general or whatever
yeah, the,
she is.
The
The-
water general.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Adina
Wait, so
the
didn't
Elegant?
they say
Yeah,
that there was
Adina the
4 of them?
Yeah, they killed the first one to take the guns on.
No, I know, but I only remember 3.
They,
The turtle guy?
Oh, he was one of them. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
realize
the
that
turtle
he was
guy was one
okay.
of them.
Okay,
he's an
that makes sense.
armadillo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
That's why
didn't
he has the
realize.
shell.
I thought that he was just one
Turtles
of the
have
like an
shells.
underling
Fuck
or
you.
something. I didn't realize that he was.
Because he had his own,
The
he had his
other.
own special thing.
Oh, he didn't.
I
I kept thinking he was like a turtle crocodile.
He.
He had like a
He
crocodile.
was
He's-
an armadillo, which is why he
and
kept
he-
making
I was about
references
to say
to
that. Yeah, I was like, he
armadillos.
kept talking about armadillos.
but he didn't look like an armadillo.
I think he looked like an
He
armadillo.
looked
What do
exactly like an
armadillos look
armadillo.
like?
Have you seen an armadillo before?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Because I definitely think he looked like an armadillo.
Fucking apparently.
But yeah.
No, I still think he looked like a crocodile.
Can you
turtle.
pull up a
Fucking-
picture
yeah,
of him?
hold
Because he was green.
I don't
His
think
skin
he
was, but his shell was orange.
Right. So green skin and snout crocodile, orange shell turtle. Does that not
No.
compute?
No.
No,
Not at all.
no.
I still think
Can
he
I
looks
see?
like a crocodile.
That's about as armadillo as you can get.
I could see.
I don't know what the fuck you're
I
talking
could see
about.
Turtle, maybe.
But
Yeah,
he crawls into a
maybe.
ball.
Yeah.
Like
Like
what
I
turtle does that?
definitely knew he was an armadillo, but I guess I could see turtle, maybe.
Oh God. Anyway.
Not crocodile
But,
or anything.
Although when he was first introduced, I was pretty baked, so I was convinced he was a turtle crocodile.
Well, that'll do it.
That's
Fair
fair.
enough.
So.
All right. So I guess like as a point, how did Kamina's death mean anything to you, or do you not give a shit?
I was upset.
Were you like expecting it, or
No, I
Okay.
wasn't expecting it at all. So I was at my friend's house watching this. I was already like, I think I was 5 episodes in, and I was just like, we're just gonna start it from where I was because I don't have the time to watch it.
Right, you're not
5
gonna
more.
rewatch it.
Yeah,
for
I was just
somebody
like,
to catch up.
Nothing happens really. I'll like catch you up to speed, and then we're gonna go from there. And both of us just like were like, what the? Why did they do this? Like, what the fuck? Because I thought that he, at the time, was like one of the only like likable characters, and then they're like dead. All right, sucks. And then
which is kind of the point.
I guess
Yeah.
people get more likable after, so it was fine. But at first, when that happened, I was like, I'm done. I'm not
Yeah.
watching it anymore. I'm telling them I'm out.
Well,
Because that's allowed,
yeah,
right?
It's not. Fuck off. So it's well, because it's funny. The first time I ever watched this show, when episode 8 happens and Kamina just fucking dies, I was like, fuck this show. This show's fucking stupid. And I hate watched it for the next 3 episodes because Simon's just fucking depressed and he's not doing anything and he's getting pushed around. I was like, fuck this kid, he sucks. And I'm like, obviously now I'm like, he's a kid that's going through depression because his friend died. But as a child, I was like,
His
this is
soul
fucking
brother
stupid.
died.
Yeah. But then like in episode 11 when he like gets his shit together because Nia's like, you're not your bro, you're your own person. I don't even know who that guy is. Be
Dude, the
yourself.
amount of times that they say bro in this
Yeah.
show, I was losing my mind. I was gonna do a drinking game to it, and I realized that I would die in one episode.
You're
And I was like, I
alcohol
can't.
poisoning.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot do this.
But that's when like in the show, like when he gets his shit back together, like that was when I was like, all right, you know what? No, this show's good.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion where I really like that Kamina died.
I love that dude fucking
No, I
died.
did. I
It's
really
important
did.
to the story.
It's
Without
incredibly
that, I don't-
important
yeah,
for the
Yes.
story.
If Kamina didn't die,
That's what
they
makes
probably would have
Simone.
never gotten to the point they did.
That's the thing. That's what motivates Simone to like be a better person and like not get his shit kicked in all the time. Like it's an incredibly important moment for him. And like I was really upset about it because I was like, oh shit, that's literally a main character 8 episodes in. I have like 19 more to go. Like what the fuck is gonna happen now? And then
yeah, Kamina dying.
what happens.
Kamina
I was
dying
like
and Simone finding Nia is like the two
Yeah.
like most important
things
in
that
his
could
life.
ever happen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's an incredibly important story moment, and I really enjoyed it. Well, obviously not at the time. I didn't enjoy that he died.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the you know the
So-
narrative
Phrasing.
weight of it.
So
Yeah.
we're talking about the importance of him finding Nia, yeah?
Okay.
Alright.
Starfire.
Starfire. Although
No,
it's
no,
not
no.
the same.
We were
She
just
did
talking
sound
about
like
it.
Starfire.
She
We were
is
just talking about
Starfire.
that.
She
Yeah.
is.
She isn't.
No, I looked it up. She is
It's
Starfire.
not-
There's 2 voice actors. Starfire is the kid. Like when she's a kid, when they age up, it's a different voice actor.
It's Hendon Welch when she's a kid.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, is it a different person?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
But
keep
yeah,
going.
Yes.
but yeah, I have some like less important critical things to say about
I didn't
him
realize
and
there were
Nia.
2 people. I just clicked on the
Mhm.
one. Was like, oh.
While I was watching this, Mark was watching it like in pieces with me, and it got to the end where they're getting married, and he goes, "So he's marrying a robot?" And I said, "No, she's not really a robot." He's like, "Yes or no?" And I was like, "She's not really a
She's not.
robot."
Yeah.
And
She's
then he-
nothing.
She's not at all.
And then he
Yeah,
goes,
she's not a
"Do you
robot."
think she has a robotic pussy? And I went, "No."
Whoa!
If I don't think she's a robot, I don't think she's
Nah,
a
bro,
robotic
she's got that.
pussy.
She's got that extra dimensional pussy.
Yeah,
you
she's
know
got
what I'm
the
saying?
cube pussy.
Yeah. Really gone.
She's got that tetrahedron type pussy. You know what I'm saying?
I also hated that they got married and then she just fucking disappeared.
But I think that's. But
No,
that's,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
Nope.
that ending so much.
She was
I didn't
never
like the
supposed to
ending.
exist.
I liked the episode before the last episode.
Did you guys watch Samurai Jack season 5?
Yeah.
Did you guys watch? You saw it. The ending of Samurai Jack season 5, or the last season of Samurai Jack, is Gurren Lagann's ending,
True.
right?
Yeah,
Spoilers
I
for
agree.
Samurai Jack.
Oh, fucking
Look,
cares.
you've
If
had,
you
like-
haven't, you've had forever to watch
Because
Samurai
when
Jack.
did it come out? The
Like,
fifth
before we
season?
were born.
Getting that from
No, the fifth
voice
season
is
came
Hayden
out when we were in
Walsh.
college.
Oh yeah, 2009,
What?
17,
Hayden Walsh.
18.
No, we were already in college, so
Yeah, we were in college in 2017 through 19.
I think 17.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like because I noticed it when I was watching this, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Samurai Jack's
Hello?
ending, which I guess that's where they got the inspiration from.
Hi.
Right.
Oh,
Where's
Starfire,
Nia
but
in there?
This is her actual profile.
Because on here, I don't see that listed anywhere.
Why don't you just go on her
Oh,
IMDb?
Yeah,
What's her
that's
name?
not-
Hinden Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me go on her
Yeah.
IMDb.
But
I
look,
was looking at the wrong thing.
look, she has two.
Okay.
oh, is it
Yeah, it's two different things on different. All right. Yeah.
Starfire from Teen Titans Go? Or did she do
Um,
both
No, they're
Starfires?
the same. They're the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was
Teen
the same
Titans
or
Go
not.
is the same actor.
Yeah.
Voice actors?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because the
but-
second she started talking, I was like, is that Starfire?
This is
Fire?
2008, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who
2008 just
didn't
came out?
think she sounded like Starfire?
It sounded exactly like.
Yeah,
Starfire.
literally. Like the first, I'm like, it's like Starfire's doing a higher voice, and then as the episode
Yeah,
came,
young-
she didn't even do the higher voice.
It's one
anymore. It was
episode.
literally
She's only
just
in one
Starfire.
episode though. It's young Nia Tepelin. One episode.
Yeah, it's not her the entire time.
Yeah.
She
Right there.
does one
One episode.
episode.
But
Maybe in
that would
Episode-
mean
episode
that
one,
they
the
probably
first
did the
episode.
first one, which means that the person probably
Mimicked.
mimicked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I guess that
I
makes
guess
sense.
something
yeah.
must have happened that she couldn't like
Yeah.
carry on the voice.
Wait,
But-
Rossio
Yeah, because I
was
feel like it
Johnny
wouldn't be
Bosch,
that
right?
hard to like just make your voice a little deeper.
'Cause he
Well,
sounds
people do
literally
impressions
the
all
same
the
voice.
time. Also.
Yeah. Oh, that is true
But
too.
also, with like that last episode of
That's what I thought.
Johnny and Bosch was Rossio.
Sounds exactly like Lelouch.
The original White Ranger.
That's
I think. Hold on. Before I talk out of my ass like that.
No, Haru's over there.
Okay.
Get it right.
so the whole time he was speaking, I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, because it
Oh,
was
maybe
like,
it's not. Oh no, it is. Yeah, I'm right.
that last episode where Kamina dies when he has that moment where like Simon's freaking the fuck out because like he can't get his shit together because he saw a girl
Oh,
that
Black
he liked
Ranger.
kissed.
Just kidding.
Right.
And he's like,
Black
I
Ranger.
can't handle this. And so Kamina like does all that shit. He jumps and like he's like,
Beats
Simon,
the
open
fuck
the hatch
out of
so he
him.
can punch the
Yeah.
shit out of him. And then that leads to the other great moment, which is when Rossi is about to fucking kill himself.
Right.
And they like teleport through time, and Simon like jumps out, and you get the most epic punch ever. Who just gets teleported out of space, jumps out of his mech, and just decks him so hard he rips the man's ponytail in half.
Also, when Rossio was gonna kill himself, I was like, bro, get over yourself.
Well, he was gonna let the entire population minus 10,000 people die.
I thought it was 100,000.
Okay, the entire population of like 1 million plus
All right, you got
die.
10%.
Sage, what is wrong with you?
You gotta start somewhere, no?
Are you a
was gonna-
dictator?
Sage is pro-genocide. That's all this shows.
Yeah, apparently, because the whole point was that he was like, no, nobody else can do this. And then Simone shows up and goes, hey, watch this shit. And he's like, oh, look, I tried hard enough and did it. And he's like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? And so he just realized that he was doing everything the wrong way and was like, I gotta atone somehow. Now, suicide, not the move, but like him and his like, I guess, mental state because of how fucked up he had to keep making choices. And then like all of them were also gonna die in space. So he
Right.
was gonna kill the entire Earth population in one go. And then he was like, ah, cool. Every single choice I made led to the destruction of the population of Earth.
Yeah, but how the fuck was he supposed to know that ahead of time?
Well, everybody
but
else
he
was like,
still
hey,
feels,
maybe.
he
was
still
trying
feels
his
the
hardest.
guilt of
Yeah, he
it.
still feels the guilt of it.
And it's not like they did die, so he should be like, you know what? I made some poor choices, but we
Yeah,
all got
Yoko's
out
the
of
only
there
one
okay.
who's actually a killer. She just kisses people and they just
They fucking die.
Kiss of death.
Seriously.
Also, I love the little like, it's not even a B story, like the fucking Z story of Rossio getting that book from
Yeah.
like the priest, and the priest is like, oh, you know, like it doesn't matter. I can't read either.
Yeah.
And then
It don't matter.
It full circles to when he hands the book back, and he's like, did you read it? And he's like, nah, that shit don't mean nothing.
It was a practical joke,
And he's like,
bro.
so that whole time we were doing this, I was holding someone's joke in my hand. He's like, yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, like you get why he starts making those decisions growing up in that village,
Right.
and then like how he's realized that like how fucked up it is, because he at one point did think it was fucked up, went full circle into now being like, no, this is what you have to do, and then realizing back to like, oh shit, no, that was some really fucked up shit, because he just took it from 50 people and just kick out one person every few years to the entire population.
Yeah,
Like,
bye.
yeah. I don't know. I thought it was good.
No, his like full circle was good.
Also, I love how in those early episodes, especially, they constantly reuse shit. Like
Yeah,
the,
you gotta.
the
You gotta
Giga Drill Impact breaker thing. Use that same animation
You
like
gotta.
3 times.
You gotta save on budget where you can. If
But
you're
they,
gonna
like, they
spend
don't even
all that
change
money,
the background. They just change the asset of
yeah,
the
no,
thing being
absolutely
held by
not.
it.
Absolutely not. You can't change the background. Nothing.
Also, those
Did this show like notoriously have a tight budget?
not that I know of, but minus the fact they blew it the first time. But like, not that I know of. I can see if I can look it up.
You're
But I
probably
feel like there was a lot
just
of assets
careful
that
the
were
other
like
episodes,
expensive to
so that's
do.
why they reused.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely reused a lot of things at different points that like, but not to the point where you're like, oh, there's that same scene like 50 million times, minus the ultimate move. But that's just because
it's
like
not like
you're not gonna change the ultimate move.
like a
anyway.
magical girl where you're gonna be like, this is the same animation every single episode where you have like,
Minus the
same,
transformation. They do the transformation,
but they
every
don't
time.
do the same transformation every single episode. You know? What
Yeah,
I
they
mean?
only show it sometimes.
Right, and when they do show it, like because he keeps like leveling up essentially, the transformation also levels up. You know,
Right.
so you'll see like the same one like 3 or 4 times, and then he'll level up, and then you'll see it 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Opposed to like Sailor Moon, where you see the same goddamn transformation.
No, she has other outfits too when she gets the different staffs.
Who am I kidding? I'm
It's
not
the
gonna find
same
a bunch
fucking
of
shit
stuff's
that they did.
impossible.
Yeah.
Because
But
they just turned into a different robot. It's the same thing.
But I'm saying not only like for Sailor Moon herself, but then like the other Sailor Scouts also.
Oh yeah,
have
they're
them.
the same.
That's what I'm
pretty
saying.
much
Like
the
you
whole
see
time.
it so much where
Yeah.
you're like, you could literally just fast forward through those, and nothing
Yeah.
will change.
Yeah. And I think like really, at least to me, the show only stumbles the one time, which is episode 4 when it loses the budget. You could 100% skip that episode. Like besides the black
I
siblings
also
being
hated
introduced,
that there
don't
was
need
like
it.
2 summing up episodes.
Yeah, there
that
was. Oh, yeah, I forgot
really
about
that.
weird.
I was like,
There were
What was
what
it?
the fuck
Episode
was that?
16 was like a compilation episode.
Yeah, it
and
was
then
like
there's
the-
an
where you
early
saw them
one that
drawing
was
and stuff, yeah.
literally Kamina
It was the
and
hot spring one.
yeah, where they just sit there and they're like, "Hey, remember when this happened 2 days ago?"
Yeah, I've never
I
seen
remember.
straight up. I've never seen a clip show in anime before.
Oh, it happens kind of frequently.
Wait,
Does
wait,
it really?
Okay, can I go? I have like a little
It's
thing
0.5
of notes.
episodes and
Oh wait,
stuff.
can
Oh,
I
okay.
just say something
Yeah.
about the one for 16?
It's when they run out of budget or they need
I
more
skipped it.
time.
Because
I
like
think
it's
that
the same
entire
thing with like
episode sounds like,
sitcoms and
fuck
American
this.
like American sitcoms. Like they'll have like a clip show.
But I think for 16 in particular, because like 15 is the big battle with the Spiral King, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like that was probably their like mid-season break,
100%.
right? And then they come back during the next season of airing or whatever for 16. So I guess if you weren't like caught up, you would just watch 16 as your little flashback.
I guess.
No,
But-
it was
but it
definitely one
doesn't-
season.
But it is one season. But I'm saying like, you know how like CW does season A and season B, but
No,
it's
I mean,
one
yeah,
season.
but like they definitely aired throughout. I think they just
oh,
ran
they
out of
didn't have
time,
a
yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then that makes no sense.
It was so stupid.
It was really weird.
That one isn't as bad because
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
that would
way
be-
further. It was really bad for the beginning one. I'm like, I just saw this. Like, why
Yeah,
are
for
you
the-
summing
yeah, that
this
was
up?
For the hot spring episode, that definitely because it's interesting because it's part episode, part not, which is usually not the case. So what I
Well,
have
that's
to-
usually what clip shows are anyway.
well, right, but in anime usually it's just you just get a recap episode, but it
Right.
had some
It's
story
usually
to
a clip
it.
episode or it's not.
Yeah,
one.
and so what I have to imagine is they started making that episode, and then they were like, either A, they needed
Budget's
more time
gone
for the next
again.
yeah,
Play the
either
other
they needed
clips.
more time for the next episode,
Yeah.
or they needed to save their budget, and we're like, all right, let's combine this episode, make it both an episode and also a clip show.
And what's
No.
weird is they also kind of start doing that in.
They probably needed time.
I think like somewhere in the late 20s where they're already in space, because they're all standing around the like spaceship being like, "This is how we got here," and I'm like, guys, you got like 3 episodes left. Why are you telling me this now?
Right. So what do you got, Kat?
Okay, I only have a couple because I didn't do it the whole time, but just like specific things, I'm like writing that fucking down. The constant beatboxing. Like serious things would happen and then like
Yeah,
okay,
fuck
so
yeah.
I
The
literally
hip-hop,
I
yeah, fuck
literally,
yeah.
literally wrote a quote when what's his face with the sharp teeth, the beast man is looking
Vero.
for Kamina. Yeah,
Vero.
he's looking for Kamina, and then Simone goes, "You're looking for bro? He's dead." Like, and I was like, "What the fuck
Yeah,
is this?"
fuck yeah.
And when they're having like the really grand battle in space, and it's the beatboxing with the opera in the background, I'm like, what is happening?
It's the only hip hopera genre I have ever seen. And
It's
it's
just-
incredible.
It's such an odd choice.
I
Oh,
know,
100%.
like,
It's
that
so
they
odd, but
always
it's
did this.
incredible.
That, like serious things are happening, and then they're just like adding this. People
Do
are
the
dying, and they're like,
Touch
Smell the
untouchable.
unsmellable.
Jesus Christ.
See the unseeable.
There was also
Row, fight the
the
power.
the black sister that liked forehead guy. I don't remember anybody's fucking name.
Forehead guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dayaka?
There are like
The one-
to your credit, there are like 15
yeah,
million
the one
characters.
the
in
one
this
that
show.
has the kid with him.
Do they have a kid?
Who's
No,
forehead
no, no,
guy?
no.
The
Forehead
blonde
guy
one?
is the guy with the ponytail.
Oh,
Kamina calls him.
Rossiu and
Yes.
and Keon.
Yes. When she like gets in with him, and then she goes, "I'm not heavy, am I?"
Oh,
And
yeah.
Like, yeah,
and
bitch, you are.
Yeah, he goes, "Actually, yeah, you're very heavy." And she's like,
She's like, "Oh, I'll get down." And he's like, "Nah, it's fine. I need
"I
to
want to feel the weight of one single person."
That actually,
I like that.
I think that I thought that scene was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It is
Because like usually how that would play out, right, is like, oh yeah, like she's like, oh I'm not, you're not saying I'm heavy, right? And then but he just straight up is just like, no, you're fucking Boulder,
I
dude.
feel
Like,
But she's
what-
also this
I think
big,
that's
and he's
so
just
funny.
Like, yeah, you're fucking
Rossio
heavy.
has like so little attachment to like human connections that he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, bitch, you're heavy. What
It's
do you want
so
from me?"
funny. Like it's so funny.
That man is very asexual.
100%.
He's so like straight in all his like thinking, like emotions, logic making, decision making. He's like, nah, no deviation.
I'd let him do my taxes, honestly, because he seems like somebody who
Let him
would.
do my taxes,
He seems
too.
like somebody who would not get me defrauded by the IRS. So.
Yeah.
Audited by the IRS. I want to talk about something that I think
Wait, did you
I
finish your
oh
list?
I
yeah,
have
I'm sorry.
one
Go ahead.
last
I'm sorry.
point. When Yoko changes her outfit and she's
To
at
the
the star,
stars. It's so ugly. I hate it.
her half of her ass is out.
Yeah.
There's literally, I said,
Yeah, Mike's like,
how
yeah.
do you fight
Yeah, it
with
is.
half of your
Yeah, it
ass?
is.
That can't. It's cupping the bottom half
Yeah.
of her
Yeah,
ass.
it
This is the bottom
Like-
half.
Like
all
chaps?
crack. You didn't
Yeah, it
see?
is.
No, wait, show
all
me.
crack.
Yeah,
and,
it
and
is.
just
It's
half
like
of her ass.
assless chaps.
No.
No, like it's so picture an ass.
Right.
Picture an
Just
ass.
the bottom half is
Yeah,
covered.
yeah, all right.
With her underwear.
I'm with
Why?
you. Yeah, I'm with you. Uh-huh.
Hold, please. Michael.
I think is it when they're kissing that you see it? Like I,
Yeah, I mean, it probably changes consistently.
I was gonna say,
but
'cause
there's one solid part where it's. I think it's when they kiss, with ketone
it's
or
like-
whatever.
no, because it looked like when I saw it, it just looked like regular underwear.
What I'd have to
They
assume is
draw
that
whatever the fuck they want.
Oh,
I'm gonna
100%.
also,
There's definitely parts
her
where I'm sure
boobs
it's
also change
they get
sizes.
way bigger.
Yes, especially when she's 14. It's either small or fucking G's, and there's no in between.
Did the outfit maker like go through puberty? Is what I'm trying to figure
that
out.
was her magical girl change.
I will say that when
She
she got
has-
the jacket was rad.
So this outfit where she gets the jacket and it's basically just
Let
a
me see it
regular
again.
outfit but with the jacket
Yeah,
on.
the regular outfit but it has the
Like,
Gurren
I-
logo on
I
the
like-
vest.
Yeah,
Love
I don't
that.
I don't
There
hate that
it
outfit.
is.
Oh.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's out.
Like
Yeah.
that can't
That's
be
all
comfortable.
crack,
Yeah,
baby.
there's
But
so
like,
much
but like
crack.
in other
Hello?
yeah, but in
Oh,
other
oh.
photos it's higher. So like they definitely were just changing whatever the fuck they
Yeah,
wanted.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
The
just
amount
like,
of ass shots that are in this show, ass and
Lots
titties,
of
like
titties shots,
Like-
lots of ass shots.
this is the actual like.
Yeah, that's hanging out there already. She looks like Freddie Mercury, dude. Like it's
Oh,
fucking.
Anthony, you were gonna say something before I cut you off.
Yeah, no. The one thing, I mean, I don't know. It might is yours short because mine's gonna lead into a whole another.
Mine is very short.
Yeah, go off.
Towards I think this was episode 26 or 25, but when the like mole rat thing or whatever it was
Turns
Turns
into a person.
into a human.
Yeah.
has fucking spiral energy
Uh-huh.
and turns into a human, I
Uh-huh.
was like, what the fuck is going on?
Literally.
What I love about that is that it never comes up again.
Yeah, he
No.
turns back and then it's like no one even
Yep.
knew he did that.
Nobody knows.
Yep.
Why did it happen?
Okay,
Who
when
knows?
they ate that fucking mole's ass.
Yeah, that was like,
Yes,
what?
okay, he
sir.
pulls it off, and then they split
He's
in half,
like,
and he's like,
here,
here you go.
have my tail.
But so he's missing the fur
Right, and
for
it's
the
like in a
rest of
star.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, he's missing the fur for the rest. But his ass grew back, his tail,
Yeah.
like it's all there.
Yeah,
Oh, he still has the tail.
Hello?
I thought he was just like,
No, he has
No,
the tail.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
grew back.
Yeah,
Alright.
100%.
Yeah.
It's also in episode 4, so like nobody cares about episode 4.
I guess that's fair.
We love the callbacks.
So anyway,
Yeah, no. One thing that I really loved about the show was how it kind of. I was talking to Mike about this before you guys came here, but how the show kind of like plays with your expectations a little bit. One thing that I think the show is kind of genius with is you gotta remind me of the guy's name. I keep forgetting his friggin' name.
Lord Genome.
Lord Genome.
Yeah,
That's how you say it, right?
Lord
Oh, the
Genome.
Spiral
Lord
King?
Genome.
Spiral King.
Spiral King,
You
right?
can just go with Spiral King.
So like, okay, so Spiral King, right? So like first like
but yeah, it's Lord Genome.
Lord
but it's
Genome.
one word.
Right. Lord Genome, right? So like, so the story like presents itself as like, like, oh, it's these oppressed people living underground. They barely have any contact with the surface, blah blah blah. And Lord Genome is like this all powerful like king that's like oppressing them and stuff like that. And it's a pretty when you think about it like in the greater terms of like storytelling, it's a pretty stock standard story. Oppressive tyrant, people who rise up against him and eventually beat him, right? But like, that's why, because like in the first 8 episodes, I wasn't really feeling it because I was like, I'd seen this before. Yeah, it's quirky. Yeah, it's fun, sure, but like I'd seen this before, right? But then like they beat Lord Genome, and then like everything just goes out the fucking window, like for the rest of the show. You know what I mean? Like I love the way the show like plays with your expectations like that, where it's like it kind of lulls you into like this like familiarity in terms of like its narrative, and then like as soon as like the quote unquote big bad is like defeated, there's like it's just balls to the wall fucking insane crazy shit happening for the rest of it. And you learn that Lord Genome was just like a small speck of dust compared to who like the real villain is, you know what I mean? And then like you find out what Lord Genome's like whole like I guess thesis statement was, where he was like, oh yeah, I was keeping you guys underground so you didn't have to like fight the anti-spirals and shit like that. And like yeah, he's an asshole because like he abandons his daughters and stuff like that, but like when you think about it, like he kind of like he probably could have went about it in like a better way, but like you can understand what he's doing and why he did it.
Well, yeah, because like especially.
And I just think it makes him like a really complex character in that way,
Yeah,
and that's
'cause
what I
they bring
really
it up
liked about
too
it.
during his fight, where he's like, "I was doing it to help you," and
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
could have just told everyone. And he's like, "No," because people fight back. He's like, "I had to use fear," and
Yeah,
nobody.
because if they fought back, they would have fucking lost. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like it's literally like a Lovecraftian cosmic threat. Like there's no way these people who live under fucking ground are gonna fight him. You know what I mean? Like it's.
also Cathedral Terror.
I mean, they end up doing it
rad
anyway,
name.
but
Yeah.
Cathedral Terror was a rad name
Cathedral
for a
Terror is
ship.
cool as hell. Yeah, but I just love how the show like kind of plays with your expectations in that way, and like
And I like that he like gets a redemption, but not really. Like his character actively is like, no, don't like mourn for me. Like when he's sacrificing himself in that final fight, and like Nia's like, no, like Father, what are you doing? He's like, no, like don't give a shit about me. I was an awful person. Like I'm just doing what I need to do.
But I think that kind of works as a redemption, right? Because like he's acknowledging his faults and like who he was, and like he's being like, no, don't mourn me. I was a total piece of shit, but in my final moments, I'm not going to be a
turn
total
into
piece
a
of shit.
drill with a
Yeah,
face.
I'm not going to be a total piece of shit and fucking save humanity. You know what I mean? Like it's really I love his character arc. I think it's fantastic. And Simone's is the best arc in the show.
I
but
hate that his name is spelled Simon.
So
but it's
it
Simone.
is Simon, but in Japanese, I believe, at least this is what I was told. In Japanese, you would be saying Simon like Simone. And so I guess when they were making it in English, they just thought it sounded
copied
better.
it.
Yeah, which I kind of agree. Simon, boring name. Simone, way cooler of
I
a
was
name.
gonna say, I feel like if they did say Simon in the like English dub, I would be like, your bro is named Kamina, and you're walking around being like, hey, my name is Simon.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that makes
my boy's
sense.
name's
I would
Simon.
feel
That
like
was
Simon
Kamina
gets
and then
kicked in the
Simon.
dick, like,
But I also just like how Simone sounds. I think it's a pretty solid.
I like Simone too. I like the way that name sounds.
I also did not like his grown-up outfit at the very end where he
Oh,
was
the
wearing,
space outfits.
I was like,
When he
you-
gets
With
like
the collar, I
the
liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah, the cape
Yeah.
and the collar.
I was into it.
Yeah,
And he
I
gets the
was-
fucking like star
Yeah,
glasses.
I was
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
it.
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit rocks.
No, I
Not
like
here
it.
Very
for it.
David Bowie.
I was like,
I liked it a
Yeah,
lot.
They just like they go balls to the wall with that shit.
They
and then
sure do.
like all of the second act, especially once they get to space,
right.
is
Yeah.
just insane.
Yeah.
Because it starts where they start teleporting through space time. Then they throw theoretical anchors into theoretical space to pull the moon out of theoretical space.
Yeah, fuck
so
yeah,
they
dude.
can leave. And then they go
So
to
they don't
fucking wherever.
disrupt, like,
Also,
the ecosystem
can I
of
talk
the
about
Earth.
like
They go to wherever, and then they're like, hey, what's that wall of water? And they're like, no, it's not water. It's hyper dense space. And then it starts flooding, and they're like, no, it's not flooding. It's spacing. And then they're like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then they get out of that, and like the things are traveling through time, and then they just start putting bombs everywhere, and they're like, all right, I've locked on 9 points into the past, 10 points into the future. We got this. And they're like, all right, let's start killing people fucking in the past and present. It is so stupid
I
and
also-
so hype as shit.
you can't not love it.
When
Like
they
honestly.
were doing the like space, the like time travel, or I don't even know what you would call it, like the space travel of like hopping through dimensions or whatever. They're like, Simone, the way we're gonna find Nia is if you just like focus your energy on her, right? And then he's like, all right, got it. And then it was like the projection of her.
Yeah,
and
and
they're
kept
like,
going to the wrong place.
Well, no, because the projection was disrupting it.
right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, so this is a projection. Let's
do
go to
it
where
again.
she actually is. And they're like, oh no, the projection is too strong. You know, I was like, what the fuck
But
is
I
happening?
did think out of all of the fucking science jargon bullshit that definitely doesn't make sense that they throw out, I do think that is the one thing that, like, I mean, the ring is slightly the one thing that did make sense, where they're like, well, you're rocking onto what,
The
the
whole
ring?
fucking mech comes out of the
Yeah.
ring.
But they were like,
fuck is going on?
but they were said because it's what the universe they were in was between the 10th and 11th dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, the only reason it made sense is because the ring had been observed, which means that it can never not be existent. And so thus we can go there. And I was like, that makes no sense, but it also somehow does. And then they were like, at one point when they started teleporting through time, they're like, oh, they're using Schrodinger's effect, where they're like, it maybe exists, maybe it doesn't until it shows up. And you're just like, sure, all right. Like,
Fine.
I also, I don't know why, but this made me laugh. The one guy who was like really into launching the rockets.
oh yeah, Artenborough.
Right. He would,
Never worked.
one, never worked, but also I like the idea that he had infinite, like, arsenal of rockets. It did not matter how many times he was like, all right, let's do this. And just,
He always just launched things before they were supposed to be launched. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it literally didn't matter for accuracy. He's just like,
like,
quantity,
"Fuck
go.
it,
he's
quantity."
like, I will hit something
And he's like,
eventually.
yeah, he's like, they all missed. We didn't hit any of them.
Like
It's
yeah, when they're
really-
fighting the flying drones for like the first time, he's like,
Uh-huh.
something will hit him, and he's like,
Nothing
fuck.
hit.
Yeah, I thought that was a good running bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just like, there's so much about this show that is so stupid, but like just so fun.
I
And-
think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and just like also, I think that especially like they do a good job at representing the stakes in that second half, because like yeah, in the first half, the only important character that dies is Kamina.
Right.
And then you get those.
Keaton was important. It's just a joke.
Oh well, yeah, I mean yeah, but like in the second half,
Okay.
I'm saying like in the first half, you really only get Kamina.
Who else even dies besides the like
Well,
bad
that's what I'm saying.
guys?
That's what I'm saying. The only,
Oh,
like,
I was like, who
because
else
then there's
even dies,
some of those
though?
like people that join a little later on in those mechs that come in during the final fight, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
like they're not really important, but like they show one guy and he dies and like
Yeah.
whatever. But like the important person that dies is Kamina. In the second half, once they all get to space, basically everybody except for Yoko and Simone from the original group fucking die. Every single one of them, like like you know, all the fucking B team people basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like they do a pretty good job at like showing the stakes that all of them die, and then they like constantly just keep falling back, and then they like step up with the like, you know, I guess like the tech group and everything like that. But everyone starts just fucking dying.
Right.
And Simo's just sitting there in the goddamn mech trying to charge this shit up, knowing he could do something about it and just can't. And I think they do a really good job of like setting those stakes up. And then also, once you get to the, like the end, every person that's still there and in that mech, like the in Tengun Toppa Gurren Lagann, that like all of them have their own abilities that they can do
Right.
in there. And then also you got best dad, best husband in the world.
Oh my
Dayaka.
god, I love
Yeah,
him
he's
so
like,
much.
I've got the
Such a
greatest wife
fucking
in the
wife
universe.
guy.
Swing, and you just see her on Earth go like, oh, and the sister's just like, what a fucking loser. Like,
Love him. He's such a wife guy. I love him,
I
dude.
love him. So great. And so like I just like, even though it gets so fucking absurd, I think they do a really good job at giving every character their moment, showing that all the stakes matter, and
Yeah.
then like knowing when to leave. Like with the last episode where like Nia, there's that moment when Simone and Nia are like in the cockpit together,
Right.
And she like glitches for a second after, and he realizes you have that like moment that sits on him for like 5 seconds where you see his face go into like terror,
Right.
and she just looks at him and goes, you know what you have to do. I just had to hold on until you could get here, because she knew that. Literally, they show him in like despair when the anti-spiral shows that the spiral power would just lead to the destruction of the universe.
Right.
And Lord Genome admits that Simon understands that they are doing something that is objectively bad,
Right.
and he's like done fighting. And then he's like, "But you have a girl waiting on the other side of the universe for you."
I love that fucking quote so much. It's
And
not
like,
even
and
funny.
she knew, and she says it at that moment, that I had to be there and hang in for you to do this fight. And he's like, "All right, well now I have to finish it." And
Right.
so then she holds on for long enough to do the wedding. And then when she fades away, he's like, "My time is done. It's time to pass the torch on." And he says, he's like, "I'm just Simone the Digger. There are better people to follow the tunnels that I have dug."
Right.
And he leaves.
I honestly genuinely think that ending is one of the best endings in like fiction ever.
And then when you
Like,
have like the after
overall.
credits scene with like the kid like trying to open the coconut or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, who do you think I am?" And he's like, "Well, really, I'm no one."
Yeah, because
Yeah,
who the
it's-
hell do you think of the kid
it's
just drinking the coconut? He's like,
Fucking perfect.
I guess it doesn't matter who I am.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm no one."
And then the
It's
kid's like,
fucking
"Oh, it's Gurren
perfect,
Lagann.
dude.
Like, do you think I could like one day?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course you can. You can do whatever the fuck you want, kid."
It's
Right.
it's perfect, dude. It's so good.
And it's one of those Gynax shows that never actually solves the problem. 'Cause
No.
but
do
here-
they
yeah,
defeat
we
the
were talking about
anti-spiral-
that before.
the spiral nemesis? Who fucking knows?
No,
They
we're-
might lose.
No, but that's what I really like about it, though, is because like it's not like a nice little bow tie at the end of it, right? It's like what that ending I feel symbolizes is like Simone, like made the
Call him
paths.
Simon.
Yeah, I know, right? Simone made the paths, right, so that others could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they won that initial battle, and like, because like when you think about it, right, like where we start in the show, it's like helpless. Like everybody's devoid of hope. Like there is no way that like they will not win against there is no way they will win against the anti-spirals. But then by the end of the show, you have like the galaxy united or the universe united. You have you have the Spiral King defeated. You have the anti-spirals like held back for a while. Like now we're at a point where if they ever did come back, they would be ready and they would be able to potentially beat them. You know what I mean? Like it's not about winning the war in that. It's not about like them winning the war and like making like everything right as rain, like everybody's like living in harmony and peace. It's about them rising up from being helpless to now having a fighting chance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I
Yeah.
also
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's like it's
and I
it's
love
fucking perfect, dude.
I love like the simplicity and its really dumb message at the beginning, which is common, is like, don't believe in yourself, believe in the me that believes in you. Which
Right.
like objectively really doesn't make that much sense, but it does. Like for what it's trying to do.
Right.
And then at the end, he's like, hey, like don't believe in yourself, or believe in yourself. Don't believe in the me that believes in you. Believe in the you that believes in you. And
I
it's
don't
like,
know what you're saying anymore.
well, that's what he said. Yeah, I mean, he said he starts off with saying, don't believe in yourself. Believe in the me that believes in you, or believe in the commune that believes in Simon. Right? And that makes zero sense, really.
Yeah.
But then he's just like, believe
nice
in the
sentiment,
Simon
though.
that believes in himself. Because he's like, there's no point of doing this unless you believe in yourself.
Well, that makes more sense because it's like don't believe the part of you that's telling you like you're not going to succeed. Like believe the part inside you that's telling you that you're going to succeed.
And I love the fact that like the entire time in that first half, even though Simon, or like in the beginning before episode 8, where Simon's just like a kind of like a bitch, is like and scared all the time, and Kamina is constantly like championing him, even though nobody understands why.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that moment where Simon's like digging in that jail, and everyone's just sitting there watching him keep like going, and you heard the story that Yoko then says from Simon's position first.
Right.
Where he's like, oh, we were stuck, but Kamina kept going, and that's so like, I kept going. And then you hear after that Yoko's version from Kamina's point of view, where he was like, I was running out of like bravado, I had no faith, I thought we were gonna die, but I just saw Simon sitting there, drilling away, and I knew that like he made my like confidence. I knew if I put my faith in him and his like watching his back, I couldn't let him laugh at me. And it's like that moment that even though he is the meek one, he was giving confidence to the person that had confidence through the fucking moon.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it just like goes from there, and I think it's so great, even though like it's so kind of like small. But I don't know.
It's hype as fuck, dude. It's hype. It's hype as hell.
I love this fucking show.
It's a great show.
So much. I love it so much. It's like besides Devil's a Part-Timer, it's the one anime I like go back to consistently and watch.
What would you rate it out of 10, Mike?
Oh yeah. Do we want to? All right. So
Oh, well, unless you guys have anything else you want to say.
I'm already
No.
seeing what he rated it.
Okay.
I know.
well, yeah.
I know in advance spoilers.
Well, technically I'm
cheating.
last. So
Oh, all right.
what rating and would you recommend it?
I feel like I'll rate it like a 7.5.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
not bad at
like
all.
it's definitely enjoyable. I don't think it was like the most groundbreaking show I ever watched in my life. And there was a lot of different moments where I saw that like it took influence from other kind of mecha animes, which I actually liked. I liked the little nods that they had in
There's
it.
definitely like a lot of Evangelion in it.
Yeah, there was
There's
a
a
This
lot of
show
Evangelion.
also inspired a lot of things after it came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like it's
Is this
it's Super Robo if you're talking about the genre.
No, not the genre, but who did Kill la Kill?
That is Trigger, I believe.
Oh, 'cause
I'll look
the,
real
the
quick.
style?
Well, because
A
Trigger
lot-
did this too, right?
No,
No,
Gainax
this is
did.
Gainax.
Oh,
I
just
might be
kidding.
wrong. Gainax might have been done.
But the style made me think of Kill la Kill a lot. Because they
No,
had a
they-
lot
they-
of like
Triggers.
face and eye motifs. And they have
They're
that
the
in,
same studio that did Neon Genesis and Fooly Cooly.
Right, no, I
Yeah.
know Gainax did that. And,
Yeah,
and
and Penny
Gainax
Stocking.
did, whatchamacallits as well. Darling and the Franxx.
I think so, yes.
But anyway, I was saying that it reminded me of Kill la Kill because in Kill la Kill they also have like a lot of like eye motifs and like
Mhm.
faces and kind of thing.
I
And
wouldn't know.
kind of like
I think
a
their art
similar
style is
level,
really good.
similar level of like absurdity,
Yeah.
but in a different way.
Yeah, no, Trigger did Kill la Kill.
Okay, but anyway.
And Darling in the Franks. So.
Oh, so Gainax didn't do?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but yeah, I thought it was enjoyable.
No.
It is hype as fuck, so you definitely get like swept up in it. I think if it wasn't as over the top and ridiculous, it would not be as fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It would just kind of feel like a middle of the road like Super Robo show. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, 7.5 would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Easy watch.
Separate question: what came out first, Soul Eater or this? Because
Soul Eater, because this was 2008. Also, this was a original anime.
Gurren Lagann came out first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this came out in Soul Eater came out in 2008 of April, and Gurren Lagann started in 2007.
so I
April.
feel like Soul Eater got inspiration from Kitan for Black Star, because
Quite possibly.
the Black siblings, they all had like stars on their outfits, and then they're very similar in like the way that they act. I mean, Black Star's over the top and way more annoying, but like that makes sense that it was kind of first. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I was thinking that as I was watching it. But separate. I just was curious which was first, since you were talking about.
Kill la Kill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When was Kill la Kill? 2011. Sorry.
It's just
I'll keep
separate
going.
things. I'd give it like a 6.5.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I didn't hate it by any means. I think Personally, I think that the show was too long. I think it would have been way stronger of a show if it was like 12, maybe 15 episodes. I think there was a lot of nothing that happened, the same things over and over, and I would have gotten the point, like, without it. So I definitely feel like it would have been, because I feel like having to watch 27 episodes made me dislike it more, because the same things was happening. And like you said, yeah, I mean, they added on another part of the robot, so like it got bigger, but like for the most part it was the same thing. Like the fucking beast men that were like, oh, sundown, gotta go, we'll do this tomorrow, all right. So, yeah. And then
All right, cool, bye.
exactly, and it was the same thing over and over, and I'm just like, we could just not, you could just do like the one, it'll have the same impact of just like one fight per general, like whatever, same thing. So I think it would have been 12 might be too short, so maybe like 15 episodes. I feel like it would have been way stronger, because I found myself, like, I know you guys are like, oh, it's so hype, and yeah, it can be, but I also found myself bored like a lot, because
With the hype or like?
no, not when the hype was, but like, I don't know, just like in between, I felt
So
like
do you feel like it wasn't paced very well? Is that what?
yeah,
Is that what it is?
that's why I feel like if it was shorter,
I agree.
it
the
would,
pacing's a little off.
yeah, so I feel like it would have been way stronger than what it was, but I didn't like dislike the show. I feel like also with it being long, I had more time to like critique it and like
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, it's in my brain.
yeah, to just think about it, and then versus if it was shorter. But yeah, I think I would give it a 6.5. It was good, but like
It's one of the better
Would you
scores.
recommend it?
That's one of the better scores she's given.
I think that's one of the better scores she's given, at least for me.
no, I think I probably gave Flip Flappers a little
didn't
bit,
like Flip
a little bit
Flappers.
more. No, I was definitely critiquing it, but I think I probably said around the same thing of like, yeah, it was good. But there's the same way with Flip Flappers, like there's a lot to make fun of, which is not bad. Like I had a good time, for the past episode, like talking about like the ridiculous things, but so it's easier to think, hey, maybe I did like this more, but I have to think about how I was actually feeling when I was watching
Right.
the show, which I do know that I was bored and it was kind of hard to get through. I was and that also could be because I was binging, and no, I didn't just start it today. I've been watching it for the past week, but it's 27 episodes, so like it's long.
Do you feel like if you just turned off your brain and didn't think about it critically, you would like it more?
So I did turn off my brain a lot, so I don't even know like
oh,
how.
I was gonna say, because sometimes like I feel the same of like when I was trying to think about it too critically, it was making me like the show less
Mhm.
because I was thinking more about like kind of like the tropes and like what you would expect to like with the
Yeah,
writing
like I
and
said
stuff.
earlier, it's the most anime show I've ever seen, like
Yeah.
in every aspect. Like, wow, when someone thinks of anime, like that's this.
But like when I turn off my brain, I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Well-
this is the hype ride is here.
Personally, I'd never go as far to say amazing, but I'd say good.
Right.
So
Yeah.
6.5. Same thing I said with like Ghost in the Shell. I think that there's lots of people that would like this and would be into it. So like, yeah, I'd recommend it if this is like the type of thing you're going for. But like, out of my list that like I'm gonna tell you, hey, you should watch this. This is not one of them. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
yeah, that makes sense. That makes
yes
sense.
and a no.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show quite a bit. I do think there are some issues. Like I wasn't really a huge fan of some of the faces. Like I thought the faces were very oblong and long, and I was like
Like
kind of
on the characters.
yeah. Like just the way they were drawn, I felt like was a little weird.
Well, the art style is like kind of.
It
It was
fluctuates.
wonky,
It fluctuates.
yeah.
Because there is some art. There is the art style. I think is very like it fluctuates a lot during
Yeah.
in terms of quality. Because like you have like stuff like episode 4, but then you have like the final fight, and it's like holy fucking
And also,
shit.
I
like
love this, like the speed line stuff when they
Yeah,
do that,
they-
the dark lines. and
yeah, I
the-
like that. I
They
like
do
that quite a bit.
really
Yeah.
Good
There's
job
like low angle, like
Yeah.
dramatic.
with
Yeah,
the
shit rocks.
still shot, like the stills that they have with through like every once in a
Oh yeah,
while.
the half episode, like the
Uh,
half breaks.
The half break markers.
Is there like a list of like that has all of those pictures?
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
But that
they're
would.
they're all pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's like the commercial break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't have like how like here in the States we have like 2 or 3 commercial breaks.
Yeah.
But you just have like one
Mhm.
long one. So that's what those are markers.
Gotcha. But yeah, I felt like the art was a little hit or miss in some places. I also felt that the pacing was a little bit of an issue. I don't think it bothered me as much as it bothered you guys. But I could definitely see the criticisms that you guys had, and I agree with some of them. But overall, I think just in terms of just like narrative weight, the characters, especially all the characters, I thought were fantastic. The story, the action sequences, like I thought a lot of it was really fantastic, and I can definitely see why the show is incredibly influential. And I mean that ending, I think is one of the best endings in fiction, like period. Super just out of this world, like off the wall, like all over the place sometimes, to its benefit, I think. And I love the false sense of security that the narrative kind of gives you within those first like 10, 11 episodes, and then it just completely pivots into something else. Yeah, I'd give it like I would say like an 8.5, 9. Really, like I think it's a pretty fantastic show. I definitely see why it's considered to be one of the best ever made in terms of anime. Would I recommend it? Like what Kat said, I mean there is definitely an audience for it. I mean, me and Mike obviously are in that audience, but I could definitely see it not being for everyone. It's definitely a show that feels like it's an acquired taste in some aspects. But I would recommend it personally. I mean, like it just for the action sequences alone. I mean, like the action sequences and the soundtrack, like you said, in the narrative, or
No matter how stupid the hip hopera song
yeah,
it is rad.
But
when it shows
yeah,
up.
the action sequences, the characters, and the narrative are well worth like the price of admission, I think. So, yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Also, I will say that it is ranked at 69, and its
80.
popularity is 59.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Also, Kat, you were right. Flip Flappers is the highest thing you've rated since of my
See?
shows. It's 7.
I
you
knew
gave it a 7.
Yeah, I knew I felt like the same way about it. Of like, it was ridiculous at the times, and I enjoyed it. But I feel like it also had pacing issues, kind of thing. But you
Yeah.
know, like it's kind of like
So
the
my
same
bar is a
ballpark.
7. I've got to find something that's at least like an 8.
Above a
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you also have a disadvantage because a lot of the shows that you rate highly I've already seen. So like, you know.
Yeah, that is true because
No.
I have very few shows that I actually put at like 10, and
Mhm.
there are way more 9s, but 10 is very. I think I'm at like 20 right now out of like the 300 I've watched.
I think I have like 5.
Yeah,
But you've seen way more than I
Exclusive
have,
club right
so.
there.
it was a lot more exclusive until recently. I got a good stride of shows where I was like, ooh, fuck,
There's a
these are
lot of
kinda
strong
banging.
shows out right now, past season and then coming up.
Dress Up Darling actually got a 10 anime. Fucking loved that
And I
show.
don't-
I need to watch that.
It's really
so
good.
Good, dude. Anyway, I mean, I feel like you guys could probably guess what my score is.
I assume this is one of the 10s.
It is.
Okay.
Gurren Lagann is a 10 to me. It is a masterpiece. I fucking love it. Yes, there are issues with it, and like there are certain things where like on the one hand I kind of wish we got more scenes with like the B cast, because like when they're all like sacrificing themselves in that final fight, there are moments of like where the 3 guys that like showed up at the same time, Kid and whatever the other 2 names were, like they have like this moment where they're like bonding and sacrificing themselves for each other, and you're like, I know that they showed up together, but we really never got much past that.
Yeah.
And like, but also they focus on who really needs the time, which is the main characters. So like,
Yeah.
it doesn't ever feel like it feels like if we got more, that would have been like a treat more than a necessity. And you know, we're also like we also like skipped over some things like Viral being a fucking great villain. He's an asshole but honorable. Then he like has the whole redemption moment,
Very
and then gets
tenacious.
and then gets to
Yeah.
like pilot in Gurren Lagann, and like he has that moment where he like realizes like that it like the respect to
It's
it.
so fucking cool,
Yeah.
dude.
He's great. I love Viral.
It's very honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
I like Viral
love
quite
him
a
when
bit,
he's
too.
in his
Yeah, me
dream too, and he
I
realizes
felt
it's
so
a dream.
bad when he was like, this is too sappy
Yeah,
for
he was
me
like, oh,
anyway.
and I was having
No.
such a sappy
Yeah, I
dream too,
was like,
and he leaves, and I
oh.
was like,
Yeah, because he can't have kids.
nope,
Yeah.
cannot.
sad.
He's immortal, so he'll just live forever.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like there was just so many great moments. I love the soundtrack. I think that this show is like the epitome of that. When the like theme song hits, you're just like, fuck yeah, dude, let's go. Like they have that theme song hit a few times, where I feel like in most shows it's maybe once a season, if that. It's because sometimes if there's multiple seasons, they change this thing anyway, so
Right.
you get like one. Or this one, it kicks in like maybe 5 times, and you're just like, fuck yeah. And then
Yeah.
you also got like the hip hopera song and the other songs that like they kind of work to their own benefit, and Yeah, I'd fucking recommend to watch this. Hell yeah, dude. I love this.
Oh, I
goddamn
also
show.
really liked Yoko's teaching episode. I thought
Oh,
that was
yeah.
really
That was
cute.
really-
I
Yeah, that
liked
was very
And
cute.
also, then the kid becomes
Yeah.
like a fighter pilot. He's
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
he what was it? He got selected to be an ambassador of Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
represents Earth.
Yeah, like that shit was great. And I love Nia. I think she's like so adorable.
Nia rocks, dude. Nia
It's
rocks
great.
so hard.
And I also love the little joke when when she shows up at the house and they're like, so Simone asked me to marry him, and then she goes and she's telling the story, and then she goes, no way.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Huh?
She's like, we can't be one person. That
Yeah,
wouldn't
she
make any sense. And they're like,
didn't
no,
understand.
you fucking
It's a
idiot.
figure of
Sweet.
speech.
She's adorable. I love
Yeah.
Nia's
I love her.
great.
But literally, I thought, well, I mean, obviously it's only one episode that she actually is Starfire, but like the Starfire energy was real, so
100%.
it was so fitting.
100%.
Starfireification.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I love the show. 10 out of 10. I would highly recommend always. And it's so fucking good, dude. Like even if you just want to turn your brain off and watch it, that's fine. But like if you do pay attention, there are some really like solid quotes and meanings to certain things.
There sure are.
And about every character that's of any importance gets a moment to shine, even though like those B characters, they don't do much, but they're always there.
For sure.
Even in the final fight, they get their moments, like just to shine and like protect other people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's my thoughts. And next up for our next anime club is Anthony. So what the fuck are we watching, sir?
So we're watching something completely different on the other end of the spectrum. Like, whereas this is like bombastic, balls to the fucking wall crazy. This might be the most grounded thing we watch on this show, on this podcast. We are watching the Studio Ghibli film
Oh god.
Only Yesterday.
Okay, different.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say Grave of Fireflies. I was like, oh.
We are
boy.
not watching Grave of Fire. I would never put you through that. No, we're watching
Ultimately.
Only Yesterday, which is my personal favorite Studio Ghibli movie and one of my favorite movies of all time. Highly recommend watching the dub because it has Dev Patel and Daisy Ridley as the two main characters.
All right.
And it's about a. So I think this movie's a masterpiece for multiple reasons, but I think the thing that really stands out for me is that it is two different stories that are just perfect. It's about a woman who goes to the countryside in Japan to live there for the summer on her. It's her sister's husband's parents. So I guess it would be her in-laws? No, it wouldn't be her in-laws, but it would be
The sisters-in-laws.
the sister's in-laws. Yeah, so they wouldn't have any. That's not anything
Not
for like
really.
her, right?
No.
No. Okay.
No, not really.
So she goes to her sister's in-laws farm to live and work there for the summer, and it's and then there's like a whole thing that happens there. I don't want to spoil anything. And then the story, the other story that's going along with it is it's a coming of age story about her as a child, and like the different things that she experienced growing up, like being a little girl, and then eventually a teenager, and then eventually an adult like she is now. And the two just blend together so seamlessly that I'm like so like annoyed and jealous that like somebody was smart enough to write this. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's a lovely movie. I think it's really wholesome, and I think you might like it specifically because it has a lot of Spice and Wolf energy. I think.
Okay.
In terms of not.
Like,
Well,
I
Kat,
hate
you're
this.
fucked.
No, it's not like as egregious as Spice and Wolf, where they're talking about like fucking 16th century economics. Like
Yeah.
they talk a lot about like the farmland, and like agriculture and stuff like that. But they relate it back in like an interesting way to like growing up, and like being a person and like just being a good person. So I think it's an absolutely lovely movie and absolutely nothing like Gurren Lagann. So.
It's also it's one of the ones that Miyazaki did not work on.
Yes, this one was done by Isao Takahata, who also did Grave of the Fireflies. And my other favorite Ghibli movie, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. So, yeah, highly recommend it.
All right.
And, yeah.
Well, that's our episode this week, and I think this will be the first one that we're technically doing a new time with. We're gonna try to keep episodes to around an hour. If we go longer, we go longer, but we're gonna try keeping things to an hour. We're all getting pretty busy. We just need to cut down on time a bit. yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about Gurren Lagann in the comments. Don't forget to watch Only Yesterday by episode 60. You got 5 weeks. Don't forget to check out Anthony at Super Milkshake on YouTube, Kat the Moonstar on Twitch. Don't forget to leave a review, follow, and like on streaming services. And we will see you guys next week. Yeah. Bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.